welcome back to Tabletop 24. Welcome back to the Airecon show floor. I'm with Toby from Oink Games. Oink being one of the major sponsors here at Airecon. And if you've seen the noses on the mugs, which have been going around, and we had a bit of a chat about next year potentially for sort of different.
If we can get the sponsorship again next year, we've got some fun ideas that could be quite entertaining for that.
Yeah. So keep an eye on that. But obviously, Oink are always bringing out new games. It's in the Oink mould for the smaller box games, some of the big stuff. So what's new?
So we've got 2 new games. We've got one very new game and we've got one more recent game. So one newer game is Quickety Pickety. This is a game where you've got to pickety quickety. And you have a selection of tiles in the middle and you're trying to collect these with the same emoji face on them. They're either happy faces or grumpy faces. And then you're trying to collect them with one other feature that's the same. So they either have to have the same colour or they have to have the same shape. And then you're trying to get them in groups and you score points depending on the quantity of each of them you have. We have actually a copy here on the table. And you have scoring cards every round. And depending on how many you have depends on what your score is. So in this one, if you have odd numbers of those in those groups, you're actually scoring negative points. But if you have even numbers, you're scoring positive points. You're playing until 3 monkeys have been shown. Every time a monkey appears, you say monkey 1, then monkey 2, monkey 3, the round ends, and then you do scoring based on, again, your sets that you've managed to collect through it. It's nice, it's fun. It initially seems like it's a speed and real-time game, but actually there's a lot more strategy in there. You can't just flip all the tiles over because all the monkeys appear, and then the round ends. So you have to be a bit more strategic and paced with how you collect and what you collect as well, because placement is very important.
Indeed.
The other game that is brand spanking new, fresh from Japan, this was released in Tokyo Game Market in autumn last year, and it's the first time it's been in the UK, is Make the Difference. And Make the Difference is a spot the difference game where you draw on the differences and then the other players have to find those differences that you've made. If they manage to find the differences within the first minute, they achieve and they claim a point for every difference they've found. If they then find a difference in the second minute, the artist who drew the differences gains a point and the finder claims a point. And if they're not found after 2 minutes, they take a little measuring stick that we have and they measure the difference and see if it's large enough. And if it is, they either score 2 bonus points or 3 bonus points.
Brilliant.
But if it's too small, they get no bonus points because it was clearly just too difficult for the group. So you're trying to make nice large differences without making it too complicated. And I'll just quickly get a sheet of that. So we've got, in the game, we've got like 10 different artworks. These are just 2 of them. And you're using special pens on the paper, which is also special paper, so it doesn't show up well. And as you draw onto them, you draw 5 differences. And then you put an overlay over the top, which obfuscates it a bit to make it harder, so you can't just look for the ink differences. And it's done very, very nicely. I was hesitant at first, but actually it really does make it difficult to find. And as long as you get your line thickness, which is the real trick, get your line thicknesses right, it's a really good spot the difference game.
And the overlay is the bit there that makes the difference.
Makes that extra difference, just gives that extra, oh wow, this really does work. It's really tricky to find these differences. Like this sheet alone has 5 differences on it that Leanne's drawn, and just from looking at it right now it's all dried, you can't spot the differences right off. There is a trick, you can flip the piece of paper over and then you can see where the differences have been put in, but you only do that if you've forgotten yourself where you've drawn them as well. Within the game there's 10 different sheets and designs, and then each design has 10 sheets within that. So there's 100 sheets to play with as well. So there's also very good replayability, even though you are going to use the sheets whilst you play it.
Perfect. And then you've got the expansion pack for it as well.
We do. So within the expansion pack, we have another 6 extra designs, which also complements the original game and gives you more replayability. We're also possibly looking at doing further expansion packs with some extra special things, which I'm working on at the moment, which could be really interesting if that comes to fruition.
Fantastic.
So and that's Make the Difference.
Anything else in the pipeline?
There's going to be 2 new games at Tokyo Game Market in spring. So Tokyo Game Market is twice a year. That's the main Japan convention where all our games are initially released. We've got 2 games being released there. One is a new variation on one that already exists, and another is completely new, but I can't tell you who it's with, but it is an external author who is very famous. And then the second one is working with an author that we've already worked with, reiterating and improving and developing a game that we've already got out.
Okay, so watch this space for what's
Exactly. If I can get it, I'll hopefully have at least one of them at UK Games Expo. But otherwise, Make the Difference will now be available at UK GE, and then it will be in general distribution available in stores, hopefully the end of June, maybe July.
And we'll be popping along at UK GE
exactly
again.
So hopefully we'll have those new games. We'll be able to go. We've got these ones as well, which
Perfect.
is what everybody
It's always
wants.
good. So as you know, we do like the Oink games. I know John's a big fan of the Oink stuff, and it's new, and there's a lot more coming out, and it's great that the UK market and the Western market is picking up a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, the UK market loves it. We're now distributing in the UK with Board Games UK, and Flavian's doing a fantastic job of getting these into all your game shops. If your local game store doesn't have it, tell them to get in contact with Board Games UK, and they'll be able to then get our games stocked in there as well.
Which is fantastic.
Which is brilliant.
So, Toby, thank you for taking the time. Thank you for watching along. Check out the videos from the convention. Give us a like and a subscribe, and we will catch you next time. Take care.